Here's my outline, my audience. Hey everyone, my name is Lucas Morrison. Today in my speech, I will be persuading you on why mental health education courses should be taken in school. According to the World Health Organization, over 1 billion people live with a mental health condition. In 2025, there's approximately 8.2 billion people in the world. The sad reality is 1 in 8 people struggle with some kind of mental health problem. In my speech, I'm going to explain why mental health education would be beneficial for students. My next point, I will discuss why benefit both the student and society as a whole. Then I will discuss why mental health education can prevent long-term problems. Lastly, I will talk about how mental health education can create a supportive school environment. Mental health education is good for students' well-being. There are many examples of mental health conditions such as PTSD, anxiety disorders, dementia, depression, eating disorders, etc. Mental health conditions aren't necessarily a bad thing because you can't control all the side effects. It becomes a problem when people and students struggle with mental health issues silently, and most of the time they don't understand what they're feeling or why they're feeling it. Teaching students about mental health helps recognize and inform the issue, so hopefully students will become more aware of the issue. The more awareness raised about the issue, that means the more help that these students can get. I believe that mental health education should be taught at a young age because most of the time it starts at a young age and worsens from there. In 2020, all students and adults faced a familiar issue, a tough challenge in lifestyle when they faced COVID-19. COVID shut down a lot of schools and businesses around the world. According to NAMI, National Alliance of Mental Illness, during 2020, we saw a major increase in youth and adult mental health conditions. In 2020, 1 in every 6 children aged 12 to 17 experienced a major depressive episode, and also known as an MDE. Now that we understand why mental health education is important, let's talk about some of the positive side effects it can have on individuals and the society. How does mental health education affect both the individual and society? Students who are more aware and have more knowledge on the mental health are more likely to want to help and be supportive of other people that struggle with this. I believe improved mental health awareness for students can lead to better academic success, along with less bullying and social drama. When students are more aware of mental health problems, they tend to be more caring for each other. Schools that will offer a mental health education course will also promote a safer and more caring environment. Now that we can see some of the benefits of a mental health education, let's discuss how we can implement courses into classes. Schools should implement a mental health education course in the classes. Implementing a mental education course shouldn't be difficult. Classes can be categorized as lifestyle, skills, and health curriculums. There are also many nonprofit organizations that are out there available as resources to help struggling students and adults. For example, there's an organization called the JEDS Foundation that is a nonprofit organization. JEDS strengthens schools by working directly with high schools, college, and universities, representing millions of students to put systems, programs, and policies into place to create a culture of caring that protects students' mental health, builds lifestyles, and makes it more likely that struggling students will seek help and be recognized. So getting a guest speaker for classes wouldn't be difficult, as it would help small organizations like these, along with raising awareness to the communities and students. Being able to start a mental health education class in school will not only help the students, but also the school and community as a whole. Mental health education can prevent long-term problems as well. As I stated earlier in my speech, mental health problems can start at an early age and worsen from there. If people are educated earlier in their childhood, and maybe they could seek help or treatment earlier so that they can prevent these long-term issues. By teaching mental health earlier in schools, students can learn many coping techniques that can last a lifetime. Or it may convince them to seek help earlier. As I begin to wrap up, I just want to re-emphasize the importance of mental health for people. Being mentally healthy is just as important as being physically and emotionally healthy. In my speech, I discussed why mental health education would be beneficial for students, how it would benefit both the student and society as a whole, how mental health education can help prevent long-term problems, and lastly, how mental health education can create a more supportive school environment. In conclusion, a mental health education is a very important issue, but by teaching a mental health education course in school, we are promoting awareness while trying to find easy ways to prevent bad outcomes and offering compassion and support to those struggling in the present. There's a Bible verse that God equipped us with, and it says, "What is the price of 2 sparrows, 1 copper coin? But not a single sparrow can fall to the ground without your Father knowing it. And the very hairs on your head are all numbered, so don't be afraid. You are more valuable to God than a whole flock of sparrows." This verse is pretty much saying, even if a single sparrow is important to God, how much more does He care about us as His creation?